Good morning, everyone. Go-To-Guy Timberlake here. Welcome to the dish for September 2nd, 2025. Today, we're going to examine three developments that definitely warrant your attention. This past Friday, my intellectual friend, Tom Wilson, shared a post on LinkedIn about a Department of Transportation RFP amendment that revealed a concerning procurement practice prioritizing speed over competition quality, potentially signaling an unwelcome shift. We'll take a look at it in our first segment. Our second segment explores a revolutionary change for construction contractors contained in the Revolutionary FAR Overhaul. This change opens the doors that have been locked since 1972, creating a streamlining and reshaping effect on opportunities worth billions. And boxing fans from my generation might remember 1974's Rumble in the Jungle duel between legendary pugilist Muhammad Ali and George Foreman that made famous the rope-a-dope technique. In our third segment, we'll examine GSA implementing their own rope-a-dope, where small business is the one on the ropes. We first exposed this back in episode 3 of The Dish, and now we take a closer look at what is currently underway. Before we get into it, let me tell you about my friends at Global Services and why they're your best friend as GSA 1 Gov gets underway. When I say the names Courtney, Martin, Jody, and Maureen, you should immediately think of Global Services, the best resource in federal contracting for winning and activating multiple award schedules, GWACs, and other contract vehicles your customers are using. For the past 25 years, Global Services has helped over 3,000 companies achieve success by understanding small business because they are a small business. Global Services has helped companies just like yours win more than $25 billion in federal contracts, and they have the knowledge and skills to help you too. Their personalized approach and deep understanding of the federal marketplace ensures every client receives the support they need to succeed. Reach out to them right now at globalservicesinc.com or call them at 202-234-8933. Make sure you tell them Go-To-Guy sent you. Hey, folks. So this past Friday, the Department of Transportation issued an amendment to an active RFP revealing their intent to only evaluate the first 15 responses received versus all responses received, effectively applying a previously unannounced down select procedure. So also this past Friday, my friend Tom Wilson shared an excerpt from that DOT RFP, and the amendment explicitly stated that the government will only evaluate the first 15 proposals received. Now, this is not about the most qualified nor the best value. The first 15 to arrive. Tom's post about this amendment included a comment, "You can't make this shit up," and it was followed by a chorus of similar sentiment by many in industry and several current and former contracting professionals. So here's the deal. Once again, on a Friday afternoon before a holiday, a federal agency pulls a fast one. This is a classic snafu for those who know the meaning. For those who don't know the meaning, let's just say this has become a normal occurrence. Going into the weekend part, that's what's normal. This particular approach to a down select, previously unannounced, that's what's new. And not only is it inconsiderate and unprofessional, it's arbitrary and not at all good stewardship of taxpayer dollars. So unless an exception to the fair opportunity was in effect, this seems to go against GSA's approach to allow all eligible contract holders to be able to bid on opportunities. What DOT is creating is very much like the old Fed bid reverse auctions, which were appropriately given the moniker race to the bottom. This is a punitive measure to companies who use all available time to produce a timely, informed, and compliant response so as not to waste the government's time, as DOT seems to be doing for respondents 16, 17, and on. So here's why this matters. This amendment shows how agencies can arbitrarily change rules midstream without proper justification. Other than reducing their workload, what benefit does limiting evaluation provide to this agency? What about taxpayers? What if the very best proposals and most qualified offers are numbers 16, 17, 18, and so on? So DOT just created a system where excellence gets ignored if it arrives after mediocrity. We, the taxpayers, deserve better than first come, first served federal procurement. Chuck Dickens and the team at IT Availability are doing great things for the U.S. government and our nation. IT Availability is led by former senior intelligence community executives who excel at implementing cutting-edge technologies, mitigating cyber risks, and ensuring data integrity. Their expertise spans satellite communications, network operations, cybersecurity, software development, and data center services. If they can empower the intelligence community, imagine what they can do for the rest of government. Their proven track record of delivering mission-critical solutions and maintaining the highest security standards makes them an invaluable partner for agencies facing complex technical challenges. Contact Chuck and his team today by visiting itavailability.com. Hey folks, bottom line up front, ready? The Revolutionary FAR Overhaul just created more and faster opportunity for construction contractors with the biggest change to federal construction procurement since the Brooks Act of 1972. So here's what the data shows. Construction was explicitly added to FAR 2 definitions, and specifically for the definition of commercial services back in August 2025. We're here. Now, this isn't theoretical. It's implemented policy. GSA's Revolutionary FAR Overhaul document confirms construction can now access requests for quotations up to $7.5 million using streamlined commercial procedures. That's 30% fewer clauses and provisions than traditional FAR Part 36 requirements. As a commercial service, construction can finally be considered for the multiple award schedule, previously closed to it since 1972. Not only can construction buyers avoid evaluation plans for buys below $7.5 million, construction contractors can now claim exemptions from certified cost or pricing data requirements. For the record, the FY24 military construction appropriations totaled $18.6 billion, according to the Consolidated Appropriations Act. Just imagine when we add in all the other agencies, like Public Building Service. This new ability to move faster using commercial, streamlined, and simplified procedures benefits agency objectives and vendor coffers. Let's go. So let's talk about what this really means. Construction contractors who currently understand FAR Part 12 procedures are going to have an edge over those who still think Brooks Act limitations apply. The Revolutionary FAR Overhaul eliminates traditional scoring systems, allows comparative evaluations without competitive ranges, and gives contracting officers broad discretion on late submissions. Construction buys under $7.5 million can now benefit from the same expedience the Air Force realizes with their SABRE program, that's Simplified Acquisition of Base Engineering Requirements, contracts which, by the way, happen to be small business set-asides. This is a big deal, folks. So what this does, it creates a hybrid model. Commercial benefits while keeping construction-specific worker protections under Subpart 22.4. Brief explanations replace formal debriefings, and quote evaluation procedures are not subject to FAR Part 15 requirements. So right now, if you're in construction, study FAR 12 for simplified procedures and evaluation requirements, and then explore what this means to you as it relates to the multiple award schedules. We'll try to bring more information on this soon. Hey folks, Ethical Stalking for Government Contractors Bootcamp is the most complete, accurate, and practical growth training in government contracting. Now, that's not just me saying it. This is the feedback we get from novice and experienced attendees who come to elevate their ability to make growth happen more for their companies. Early bird savings of $500 are available right now for our upcoming October 21st and 22nd bootcamp cohort in Bethesda, Maryland. The comprehensive hands-on training during the initial 2-day immersion workshop is transformational, and the 1-year bootcamp alumni experience makes it actionable. Reserve your seat for the October bootcamp cohort today at bootcamp.theaspc.org or contact us at 410-381-7378. All right, going in for the big finish, folks. On October 1st, 2025, the thresholds for the micro purchase threshold, the simplified acquisition threshold, contingency contracting, and simplified procedures for certain commercial products and services are going to get an inflationary boost. That's the good news. But this is also the continuation of a setup GSA and this administration has for America's small businesses. Let's talk about GSA's version of the rope-a-dope that will eliminate $18 billion or more in small business opportunities. Now, these inflation adjustments increase the SAT from $250,000 to $350,000 and the micro purchase threshold from $10,000 to $15,000 and simplified procedures for commercial goods and services from $7.5 million to $9 million. That sounds great, right? Here's the rope-a-dope. GSA and the administration plans to wipe all that out for small business and just small business through current legislation that's going to literally devastate access to opportunities for the small business community. So, as we covered back in episode 3 of The Dish, GSA wants to increase the simplified acquisition threshold to $10 million over 5 years while freezing the small business set-asides at the current levels of $250,000. So what this means is if the GSA legislation is successful, the micro purchase threshold will climb to $100,000, and that'll be the bottom of simplified acquisitions. And then the simplified acquisition threshold just for small business will drop back to $250,000. That's going to eliminate more than 35% of the dollar value range currently available by statute. Based on FY 2024 spending levels, this would erase at least $4 billion in small business dollars while creating a fast track for other than small business concerns to use the rules created specifically to ensure that small business concerns get a fair proportion of government contracts. So here's the out. Our hope is that we can escape this with passage of the FIT Procurement Act. That's Federal Improvement in Technology Procurement Act, which the House passed unanimously back in December. The FIT increases the simplified acquisition to only $500,000 while extending set-asides to match. Here's what that means. The range for small business would go from $100,000 to $250,000 under the GSA proposal, but would go from $25,000 to $500,000 under the FIT Act. So this actually helps small businesses. So here's the deal. If you're interested in this, you want to take action, contact your representatives, let them know you support the FIT Act. as opposed to GSA's $10 million package that will literally cut your legs from under you. The current threshold adjustment isn't a gift. It's a distraction. It's the setup for eliminating protections that have existed for small business since FASA in 1994. Folks, that's the dish for this week. Remember, in federal contracting, the companies getting shit done are staying ahead of the intelligence curve. Use what we've served up, take action, and we'll be back next week with another 15 minutes of insights that don't waste your time. Remember, the person saying it can't be done should stop interrupting the person doing it. I believe you can get it done. I'm Go-To-Guy Timberlake, and this has been your latest serving of the dish.